Okay, so this is kind of going on what we talked about earlier.
Okay.
But there's a thing called incels. Have you heard of these?
I've not.
That's going around in America.
No, I mean, you mentioned it to me.
Countries.
Yeah, you've mentioned it to me, but I don't really know a lot about it.
Okay, so the way I've heard of it is basically that once dating apps came out,
Okay.
that women who are like college girls, instead of dating loser college guy down the hallway,
right,
who's in his dorm and has no money except his parents' money,
right,
and can't take me to do nice things, and a fun night out is not going out and sitting on a futon that's covered in Cheetos. Instead of doing that, she can get on a dating app and find the 30-year-old guy down the street.
Okay.
And who can take her to a lake weekend all weekend and not sit on Cheetos. And so all the guys that are 30 who already have their life together are getting all of the girls.
Okay.
And that means that it's pushing off dating and marriage and sex even farther and farther for regular dudes because of all of this.
Okay.
So it pushes it farther, and now these dudes are called incels because girls don't even ever talk to them.
Okay.
And so they don't know how to do any of this at all.
Okay.
So that's what's going on, and you should know about it.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what people have said it's going. I've watched stuff about it.
Okay.
But anyway, how do we deal with that? How should Christianity deal with that? Because this is going to get worse, I think.
Okay. All right. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to get worse in Christian circles.
Okay.
Hopefully. Because hopefully in Christian circles, whether women and men are both hopefully valuing, things differently than just the rest of society. And so, in other words, if in Christian circles, I get the fact that, hey, a young woman, it would be appealing to be able to date someone who is more stable in their life, right? They're like one season ahead, if you were. But I would have a hard time imagining. So, for example, if I am, if you're talking about like early 20s, right, connecting with someone who's, late 20s or 30, well, that's one thing. But like that 30-year-old is probably not dating the 19-year-old girl.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they are. But I'm just saying, I think you're going to have, it probably won't be as common. And so what I'm saying is, I think there's probably the reality that you can look at apps and things like this as an excuse, but I guess I personally know enough young women and young men that I don't know this. I guess I haven't seen a lot of this in the Christian circles that I run in. I put it that way.
Okay.
And for whatever reason,
you don't know a lot of single dudes or women that can't get dates or can't get married.
I mean, no.
Okay.
Like I know individuals who've never asked anyone out in their life, but that goes back to, like, come on, man. Like at some point in time, you got to take a risk and ask somebody out. Right?
I haven't either.
Yeah. They're always after you, are they, Nate? So, but, I just think that's, like, no, but I haven't seen this as a recurring problem in the cultures I run in. And again, it doesn't mean that it's not out there in the larger culture society. I guess I'm just not as attuned to it. So I guess if we're talking about, Christian men,
I guess the whole point is of saying all that is that I think marriage in society might keep getting pushed off farther for men specifically because of this reason.
Right.
And so that's why it's a thing to bring up in these episodes.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get that.
Yeah, okay.
I can definitely see that can be pushed off.
Like, it's so much that there's a term.
Right.
Like dudes who have just never been on a date.
Right.
And what happens is they feel, because of this, and no one's talking to them, they feel so discouraged that like they get to a point where they just don't even know how to talk to girls.
Okay.
And don't know how to even deal with it because none of the ones their age that they're stuck in school with will talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I don't know. Again, I just, it just, for me, I guess, I'm just thinking, hey, if I'm a 21, 22-year-old guy on a college campus, then connecting with an 18, 19-year-old female shouldn't be all that difficult or all that, like, I guess that kind of blows my mind a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
Because what you're saying is basically it's not just that they're putting it off, it's that there's social interactions that are basically just not happening, or social like relational skills that aren't being developed because of it. Is that kind of what you're getting to? I can understand where there would, I can understand why that would be a problem for sure. But as far as, I guess in the Christian circles I'm kind of running in, I guess I just haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Okay.
So it's harder for me to, I guess, grasp that to some degree. And I just trust, I just think if you're in certain circles that aren't just looking for the money or the weekend away or whatever, that there are individuals that are just, they're just going about life doing their normal thing. And to be able to connect with them. I don't know. I just, maybe I'm missing something in all this. Obviously I am, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look into it more, I guess, to understand what's going on. And I guess in my head, I'm also thinking, is it that, or are there really social implications from all of the social media and screen times and everything else?
Well, yeah, it's that too, because people can just find everybody.
Right.
So I don't have to
develop any kind of relational skills. So I guess I'd almost want to delve into that more and figure out what has changed in that because of individuals growing up with screens their whole life.
Oh,
that would seem to be like where a lot of the relational breakdown would be. And so I could see, I guess where I'm going with it is I could see, like, if it's for a season, because you got a generation of people, they've done nothing but looked at screens their whole lives. They don't know how to really socially interact. And then all of a sudden you've got these older individuals that maybe weren't completely fully inundated in that, do know, they're successful, they have their own careers or jobs, they do know how to interact. Well, that's a whole different individual right there. That's more appealing to be able to connect with someone like that. So yeah, it makes me kind of want to dive into kind of the sociology and the psychology of what's happened because of individuals growing up in, Gen Alpha, and, or Gen Z, and how they're developed.